Every time the convicted felon president, whom I refer to as Kanks, short for Kankles McTaco Tits, every time Kanks gets in front of a camera, his cognitive decline, his frail, weak mind is on full display. And here he is claiming that 300 million people died last year. Play the clip.
With us? Huh? Are you going with us, Maggie?
Not with you.
Good.
Just one more on Venezuela. The president of Venezuela called the strike on the vote illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
No, what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country. And the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs, that's what's illegal.
Do you think he's not telling the truth when he's...
No fact check.
No fact check. Where were these 300 million people?
He made it up.
He made it up, just like 17 million in tariff revenue. I mean, he just makes
17
shit
trillion.
Up. I'm sorry, 17 trillion. And nobody fact checks him. I've stopped 7 wars. What are they?
So this is where democracy is dead. I mean, this movement, you guys, is they're exploiting the murder of Charlie Kirk, and they're going full tilt to erode civil liberties. They're already making lists of people who didn't respond the way they wanted them to respond, despite every single Democratic leader on the planet condemning it. And that's not enough for them. And Kanks always shit talks Americans. I've never in my lifetime heard an American president that just consistently and constantly shit talks the American citizens the way this man does. Play the clip.
The problem is on the left. If you look at the problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left, that's not the right.
Do you plan on investigating?
We'll see. We'll be announcing. They're already under investigation. They're already under major investigation. A lot of the people that you would traditionally say are on the left.
They're
already under investigation.
So I think what he's talking about here is George Soros. That's somebody who they really, really want to go after. And this instance about flags, all of this flag burning going on all over the place. Let's talk about flags. Let's talk about them. Because what I see are the flags on the right, the don't tread on me crowd, who's, getting arms up. Meanwhile, the federal government starts to tread on civil liberties. Crickets. They're nowhere to be found. And then I also saw flags, Nazi flags and Confederate flags at January 6th. And it's really rich. And I guess that this works with his base because he said smart people don't like him. So smart people, all of us sitting here watching this, I'm not going to be lectured about violence from a guy that incited a violent insurrection and then packed his toys up and left the White House and didn't participate in a peaceful transfer of power because Joe Biden beat him by 8 million votes. And then this guy, Kanks, is regramming this truck bed that has Joe Biden bound and gagged. And I just want to remind everybody that Charlie Kirk himself called for the death penalty against Joe Biden. So for me, I always hear this call of violence and death and the enemy from within from the right, and they're trying to gaslight Americans that don't follow the everyday news. They are gaslighting them because when you see a person get shot, it's violent. What I saw was horrible. I mean, it really, really disturbed me. And so they are using that imagery to exploit that death to say it's the left, it's the left, it's the left. If the shooter, who's been in FBI custody now for 2 or 3 days, if there was some left-wing writing somewhere, it would be all over the place. It would be, Fox News would be blaring it. They are making this narrative fit what they want to. And at the end of the day, this is white on white crime.
It absolutely is. And because they don't have the narrative they want, because it wasn't a Black or trans, woman or gay man, they're making shit up. Like Fox News is spewing nonstop lies about this guy because he turned out to be one of them. And I will repeat it again and again. They do not want peace. They want to take up guns and start a civil war and start incarcerating Democrats. And they want to start incarcerating any type of speech that is not pro-Trump. It is absolutely, the free speech is under attack, and they are manipulating Charlie Kirk's death for that and completely rewriting the history of Charlie Kirk and his views.
There's zero question about it. And he's already said here, Kank's in that Democrats are already under investigation. Always they're priming the public. You always see these efforts to prime the public as to what's going on. And Charlie Kirk was murdered. We all saw it. They immediately, before they had the suspect, started saying it was the left. The world's richest man has been on a psychotic ketamine bender the last 72 hours. He is literally claiming that there are transgender terror cells in Utah that have been unlocked and unleashed. And then he's been over riling up anti-immigration stuff in Europe. It's interesting to me that these billionaires want to see democracy crumble. And so Elon Musk is saying things like, if we don't fight, we die. In any other planet, if a person was tweeting and saying all the stuff that he did, they would get kicked off of that platform. But the erosion of free speech, while at the same time these people claiming to be free speech absolutists, is a real tell, because what they want is propaganda. They want to control the narrative. There's nothing free speech about this. And before, I want to play you guys a really important video that Right Wing Watch put together 3 years ago. But before we do that, let's take one moment to hear from our sponsor. Stay with us because you'll want to see this video. Today's episode is sponsored by Honey Love Pumps. I absolutely love to layer my clothes in the fall, but I always cannot stand the bottom layer, which is the bra, which is why I'm so happy to share with everyone. I've completely switched all of my bras to Honey Love because they're so incredibly comfortable. You feel like you're not even wearing one.
I love their shapewear because I've always had to wear shapewear, but with Honey Love's targeted compression, it works with your body, not against it, giving you sculpted support where it counts and easing up where you need flexibility. And there are no hidden seams.
And they also have this super power short, and it is like a total booty lifter. Boost brands on the back of the thigh give your bottom amazing shape. And at our age, we'll take all the help we can get. Listener, treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/IHIP. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/IHIP. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honey Love. Okay, thank you so much to our sponsor. Kylie, now play this clip that was made 3 years ago.
Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Fuck democracy.
I want to see Antifa members hanging from gallows in Trump ties. That's what I would like to see. Yeah.
We need total dictator Trump. I seriously, and there's no argument against it. Oh, the Constitution says this. It's like the Constitution is invalid.
Yes, the point of Christian nationalism, my goal, is to break American democracy.
Here would be my solution. Elect a dictator, suspend the laws, dismiss the legislature, and the dictator taxes the people and uses the money to build a giant wall and uses the money to raise an army that is personally loyal to him.
People need to be tried, convicted, and executed for treason.
The greatest example of love is to kill those traitors so others learn never to do it.
We need to hold people for treason, start having some public hearings, and start executing people who are found guilty for their treasonous acts against the Constitution of the United States of America, just like they did back in 1776.
There should be military tribunals taking place right now, and people should be arrested for high treason that's been committed at the highest levels of government. Well, personally, I think a firing squad would just be great. Just put them all there, stick them up against the wall, and take them out.
What does a modern day militia look like? Because if you're like me, you see these godless commies and you're like, I want to shoot them in the face. But because you're like me and you're a law-abiding patriot, you're not going to do that because that's illegal. Or is it?
If for any reason the President of the United States feels that it's not getting done the way it should and decides to put out the tweet that says, my fellow Americans, my fellow 2A loving Americans, it's time to take up arms against these assholes. You are all fucked in under an hour.
We will then collect the power needed to silence, destroy, and imprison our political opposition.
So this fucking country is so gay. I hate this country. I hate this country. I hate this country.
So this was 3 years ago, and you can only imagine since then how the right-wing narrative has gone. And one mistake I think the Democrats have made is not addressing this in a mainstream way. So whether this is addressed or not, it's incubating and growing and getting contagious because people are not watching mainstream news as much anymore. They're here. But to centrist people that don't follow the everyday news cycle, this needs to be highlighted. This needs to be presented, that this is what, when MAGA talks about the big tent, these people are in it. These people are a part of the base of the MAGA movement. This is only gotten worse since then because they're more emboldened now.
They're more emboldened because if you are committing crimes and hurting people in service for Trump, you can count on a pardon. How do we know that? January 6th. And I look at all these people and I think, all of you guys, they don't want to be your dictator. He wants the oligarchs. He wants the money. So make no mistake, when this whole thing, if Trump gets his way, it would not be these working class people and pastors in power. It's going to be the Peter Thiel's, Elon Musk, the oligarchy, because they think they're smarter and they should tell dumb people what to do.
And I just want to leave you all with one final story that broke yesterday. Governor Kathy Hochul endorsed Zoran Mamdani, and I'm so happy that she did. I'm sorry, I always pronounce his name wrong, and I'm so sorry. That is a Southern thing. When I see M-A-M, I think ma'am, and it's mom. Zoran Mamdani. So anyway, Governor Hochul endorsed him, and I think this is such a fabulous thing. And I just want to say this to the people on the left. Let's not, once she did this, let's not criticize her because it was too late, not soon enough, etc. He is a further left candidate than what we've had, and I want it and I support it. And I think whenever establishment candidates can come around and see the direction that the party's moving in, even if it's a little late, don't get sanctimonious on them. And I want to give you all this word of caution. Pumps and I interviewed Governor Hochul on our podcast last year sometime, and she was open-minded, listened to us, we listened to her, conflict resolution oriented. And then we ran into some of our New Yorker friends and like, we don't like her very much. And I said to Pumps, what a luxury to be able to have a governor that you could have a realistic critique of, because the governors in these red states, you guys, like ours, Kevin Stitt has only governed for a small percentage of the oil and gas billionaires. And he has weaponized his faith against a very religious state to make them think that he's doing the work of Jesus while he's actually doing the opposite. He is demeaning the poor. He is making our communities less safe. We are the worst state out of all 50 for women to live. He doesn't care. And we are 50th in education. And this is all under his rule. Healthcare, terrible. Poverty, terrible. Crime rates, terrible. And this is all under a governor that is totally fine with the superintendent of school ranting and raving about transgenderism, which is now all up in the news. All of these fringe actors are becoming mainstream now. So on the left, when somebody arrives at the party, accept them and embrace it and build coalitions, and don't get sanctimonious on this, because I agree you can have differences with Kathy Hochul. Maybe she's not left enough or blah, blah, blah. But if we do not form the appropriate coalitions, you are left with white supremacist Christian nationalists like Kevin Stitt, who weaponize his faith against a very religious public. And that's all they've ever known their whole lives, is that religion. And he uses it to get them to vote against their best interest, all the while helping the rich get richer, which I'm not a Christian, but it's my understanding that Jesus spoke out exclusively against the accumulation of wealth. All right, that's all we have for this episode. We'll be back later with more news.